Welcome everyone to another Biomapas Insight session. I'm Edoardo Pavan, BD Associate at Biomapas, and today we'll be covering two important topics from the Italian regulatory landscape. First, we'll look at the substantive requirements that promotional and medical scientific materials for medicinal products must meet under Italian law, from accuracy and bibliographic traceability to the strict prohibition on misleading citation. Second, we'll touch on a recent procedural update from the Italian Medicine Agency regarding the upload of revised product information following type 1 variation under the silent approval procedure, which came into force on the 1st of February 2026. To walk us through both topics, I'm pleased to introduce Jacopo, Regulatory Affairs Manager at Biomapas, who will provide a clear and practical overview of what these requirements mean for your day-to-day regulatory activities in Italy. Over to you, Jacopo.
My name is Jacopo Quaranta, and I am a Regulatory Affairs Manager. I started my career at Merck Serono and later worked in several consulting companies, eventually joining Biomapas, where I have been working for the past 5 years. I work in a regulatory field for medicinal product, and I have also gained experience in pharmacovigilance and medical affairs.
Thank you very much, Jacopo. So let's dive into the first part, and we can refer to the legislative decree number 219 from 2006. It regulates the advertisement of medicinal products that require a medical prescription. So this regulation emphasizes that information must be continuously updated. What are the practical obligations for a company when a new study significantly changes the benefit-risk profile of a product that is already being actively promoted?
A variation must be submitted in order to update the product information. Once the variation has been approved by AIFA, the SMPC can be used for promotional materials. Regarding updated timelines, all active promotional materials must be reviewed immediately, and any outdated materials should be modified or withdrawn.
Very clear. Thank you, Jacopo. So this decree also prohibits citation that, taken out of context, could appear partial or misleading. In your experience, which are the most common mistakes companies make when selecting and using bibliographic references in promotional materials?
Given that for each claim, including the promotional material, it must be supported by a corresponding bibliographic reference, the most common mistakes are citing an indication that has not been yet approved by AIFA, missing or omitting references, mismatch between the cited references and the bibliographic material provided, failure to include mandatory information such as price, classification, and reimbursement status, and the statement not for distribution to the public, failure to include the latest approved SMPC, omission of the product code.
And one last question. So the regulation requires that promotional material strictly complies with authorized in-label indication. In practice, how do companies navigate the boundary between what is permitted and what could be considered off-label promotion, especially when new clinical evidence emerges that hasn't been yet incorporated into the product label?
Well, through the approved SMPC, which must be submitted to AIFA together with the promotional material. The promotional material must strictly comply with the information reported in the latest approved SMPC. If the promotional material is not aligned with the SMPC, it will be rejected by AIFA.
Thanks, Jacopo, for sharing your knowledge about this legislative decree and its implication. I'd like now to move to the recent procedural update from the Italian Medicines Agency. So we briefly spoke at the beginning about the silent approval procedure. Could you please explain what it is?
The tacit approval procedure is described in AIFA determination number 95/2024. Which type of variation fall under this procedure? All type 1 variation of administrative nature, all type 1 variation involving quality change with the exception of those that entail the addition of new pack size, all type 1 variations relating to safety, efficacy, and pharmacovigilance, with the exception of those that involve a change in the supply status or an extension of the therapeutic indication or an expansion of target population, which required negotiation for reimbursement prices.
So we said that the update regards the uploading of revised product information. But what specific documents must be uploaded? Can they vary depending on the nature of the variation? And are there any technical or formatting requirements that marketing authorization holder must comply with when uploading documents to the AIFA product information portal?
It is always necessary to upload SMPC, PIL, and labeling, together with the reference to the official gazette related to the variation. As a general rule, the product information should be uploaded in Times New Roman 11 point font.
And what guidance or support is AIFA providing to marketing authorization holder to help them comply with this new obligation?
AIFA, at the end of January, organized a webinar in which company actively participated. In addition, AIFA made a guidance manual available, and in early of February, published a document containing the question raised by the companies and the corresponding answers provided during the webinar.
Thank you, Jacopo, for joining us and walking us through such a relevant and insightful overview of the Italian regulatory landscape. Thank you all for watching. We hope this session has provided valuable guidance for your day-to-day activities, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode of Biomapas Insight.